Hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and I'm so happy that you're here. This podcast is a place for conversations about balancing a healthy lifestyle and being happy. More specifically, happy hour. Together, we'll explore all things wellness and wine. I hope you learn a little, laugh a lot, and along the way, know you're not alone on this balanced wellness journey. Ready to jump in? Pour something in your glass that makes you happy because it's time for Spandex and Wine. Well, hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast. I'm your host, Robin Hackney, and grateful that you are here. When I started this podcast, I was anxious to meet new people and have some new guests on, but it also filled me with a sense of gratitude for the people that are already in my life and the amazing women that I get to share time with. And one of those people is Robin Berseth. She is just the most caring and genuine, thoughtful being. And I admire her so much for some of the steps that she took and the steps back that she has taken in her life and filled every moment as much as she can with things that are important to her and the people that are important to her. So listen to this conversation, and I hope you have some wonderful takeaways from it. Here is Robin Berseth. Well, hello and welcome to the Spandex and Wine podcast, Robin. I am so very happy that you are here.
Hi, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, it is wonderful to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in some time, although I've been following you on Facebook. And I have to tell you that you are just someone that I have always admired. You are so genuine and sincere, and I just love everything about you.
Oh, well, I feel the same way about you.
That is
But
very
thank
nice of
you.
you. And one of the things that I've watched you do is, when you just kind of decided you were going to get into camping and you bought the Jeep and you're just taking off and you're having all of these adventures, I would like to start right there if you don't mind, because it just looks so cool, everything that you're doing. So what
Yeah,
prompted you
well,
to do that?
oh, I actually it was something on Facebook talking about, social media and stuff. I saw a little ad that was this group that, like, it was a line of these vintage trailers and all these women who go out and hang out together, and they pull their trailers around the country and just have fun. And so it piqued my interest, and I clicked on the link and went and read more about it and found out that they had been doing this for over 20 years and they were all over the country. And
Mm-hmm.
being in a place in my life where I was kind of searching for more fulfillment, I wasn't really sure exactly what I was looking for, but I grew up camping, and I had lost my dad in the end of 2019,
So
or
sorry.
I'm sorry, the end of 2020. And when I saw this, I just thought this would be a way for me to go relive some of those camping memories and enjoy time that I had on my hands, because I was recently retired while my husband is not. So
Yeah.
it was kind of a safe place to be with these other women.
Sure. And is it Girls on the Fly? Is that what it's called?
Yes, Sisters on the Fly.
Sisters on the Fly. Now, do you fly
Yeah.
fish?
I do not. I have not tried it yet.
Okay, but is
um,
that like part of it?
it is part of it.
Okay.
It was two sisters who actually started it. And they went on a fly fishing trip, I believe, with their son. And they had so much fun, they decided that every woman should do this, have the
Yeah.
opportunity to do this. So they started it.
Okay. Is that something that you're going to try then this spring? Or I guess you live in Arizona. You could like do it now. Today it's like 7 inches of snow in Kansas.
It's so chilly here today, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have it on my calendar. They have events. We have events all over the country, all throughout the year. I don't have a fly fishing trip on my calendar right now, but yeah,
Mhm.
I would be interested in learning how to do it at some point.
Yeah, my oldest son had a fly fishing business. He was a guide for a little while, and he said that women are really good at it because we're just a little more natural, and we're easier to teach. So
Oh,
I know that
wow.
you'll
That's
pick it up
interesting.
well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a huge
Mm.
fisherwoman.
Yeah.
But I did grow up, around it and with the camping and with my dad and a little bit of fishing here and there. But I think it would be fun to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said that you're recently retired, or when I say recently, I guess in the last 5 years. Tell me about your corporate world because you did some event planning, and that just sounds amazing to me. And maybe I'm sure it had good days and bad days.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was a corporate event planner, so I didn't do anything like weddings or anything like that. It was all big, larger scale type of events, meetings, trainings. I was in the software industry,
Hmm.
so all of our trainings were for our clients mostly, and then we did have some staff meetings and such. But I would organize the events for the clients. We put on an annual conference and then several like regional trainings throughout the year. But it was a lot of fun. It was a nonprofit sector, so it was
Okay.
a lot of people that I got to be with and deal with were people that were working from their heart in all different types of nonprofits around the country. So it was very fulfilling to be able to bring them together and get them the training they needed. And um, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds like it. And before that, you were with Traveling Vineyard, and after that, you were with Traveling Vineyard. So tell me about that. Tell me about your wine life.
Well, originally, I found Traveling Vineyard back. Oh gosh, my son is 19 and a half, so he was about four, I believe, when I found it originally. So it was 15 years ago or so, and I was just looking for something for me. At the
Hmm.
time, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I also ran an in-home preschool in our community, and I was just kind of looking for an outlet for myself. And I thought that would be really interesting to learn more about wine and
Yeah.
to do wine tastings. And so I signed up and had a great time and was part of the company. We were in Arizona at the time, so it was a little bit more difficult shipping issues
Oh,
and
yeah.
such just because of legalities and things.
Hmm.
So it was a different world than when I came back to Traveling Vineyard later on in life. But
Yeah.
it was fun though. I got to meet a lot of amazing people and start learning more about wine.
Sure, sure. And I know that you said that health and wellness has always been a priority for you. So how did you balance it when you were in the corporate world? Because it can be really hard to fit exercising in, eating healthy when you have that work schedule and that 9 to 5 job, or probably not even 9 to 5. It's probably more hours than that if you were event planning. So how did you work that all in?
It was very difficult, really. When you're traveling, you kind of, especially when I was traveling, a lot of times I'd be meeting with hotel sales staff who were trying to sell me their properties and just, sell what they have. So they would wine and dine me, so to speak. And I actually learned a little bit from my husband, who also had to travel a lot from work, but he would do things like the first day he would arrive in town to a new town, go get a rotisserie chicken and go get, fruits and vegetables and cheese and things that he could snack on healthy wise, not have to rely on eating out at a restaurant or fast
Yeah.
food. Um, and then also I would rely on some videos and that type of thing
Hmm.
where I could, work out from my hotel room or use the gym. But it is difficult. It's hard to balance. You have to really stay committed to know that you're going to, make it to the gym every morning at whatever hotel facility you're at and
Hmm.
keep your body moving. I did a lot of walking. I would explore the little towns and cities that I was in.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
yeah, I still enjoy walking as kind of one of my main ways to stay active.
Yeah. On the last interview that I had. It's funny because you're my second Robin. So, and all three of us spell our name the same with the I, not a Y. And we were talking about walking and how some people use it for exercise, which is fantastic, but it's also so good mentally as well, just a moving meditation. So, I feel like people can find their balance there too. You can decide today, do I need to go all out or do I just need a little self-care?
Absolutely. Yeah. I like to, sometimes I walk with a friend, but I also like to walk by myself where I can, put in my earpods and listen to a book or a podcast or music, whatever I'm in the mood for that day. And just kind
Hmm.
of, it helps you clear your mind and you think through things and just enjoy the fresh air and what's going on outside instead of being trapped inside at a desk all day.
Yeah. Yeah. And you had said also that you're trying to just take steps to live more simply. And what have you done in your life what's changed that you decided, okay, I need to cut this out or I need to change this? What habits have you formed? What have you taken away to bring in simplicity?
Wow, that's still a big work in progress. I'm used to being busy all the time.
Hmm.
My calendar is usually full. And sometimes it's, even though I'm not working any longer, I still am able to fill that calendar really fast with either helping people or signing myself up for different activities or, going to dinner with friends and visiting my grandkids and things like that. And this year I just want to learn how to stop a little. So
Hmm.
that's kind of my focus right now is I was finding that I wasn't able to do things at the spur of the moment. Someone would, call me and say, do you want to go to a movie tomorrow? Well, I never could because I always had my calendar packed.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to kind of slow down so that I can actually live more, if that makes sense, where I
Yeah.
can actually say yes to some things I want to say yes to because I'm not overcommitted.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it makes total sense. I know exactly what you're talking about. I do that all the time. And then I'm like, oh gosh, I need to figure this out. I need to carve that time because we only get so much.
We do. And life is short. And as we get older, we start losing people that are, dynamic in our lives. And we kind of start realizing our own mortality and we want to um, get the most out of life and not just be so busy and do what's important and be with people that are important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And does your son still live with you or are you a total empty nester now?
Yeah, he still lives at home.
Okay.
He's not home very much. He goes to
Yeah.
school at nights and he works full time. So he's not here a lot. When he is here, we still enjoy him a whole lot. So I'm not ready for him to leave yet.
Yeah. I totally get that. I know that's a big adjustment. Yeah. That's a big adjustment. Yeah. Those boys just love their mamas.
They do. They do. And he was the baby. And I have two older daughters who are both in their 30s. So I've been a mama for quite a while with someone in my home, that I'm
Yeah.
caring for. So when he leaves, it's going to be probably after, 35, 36 years of caring for a child it's going to be different.
Yes. Yeah. And I know that you mentioned that when you retired, it gave you special time that you were able to be a caregiver for your father or help out, which is so important as well.
Yeah, yeah. My father had a wonderful wife who was a great caregiver to him, but I was able to help assist them get to, you know, he had lots of doctor's appointments and different things, and I was able to help or go sit with him while she took a break, different things like that. And I'm so grateful that I listened to my intuition and took that early retirement and gave me that opportunity with him. It gave me a opportunity with my son as well. He was 15 at the time. I'm trying to think of the pandemic.
Hmm.
And we kind of both got locked in our house together for the year. And that's not something that a lot of moms and teenage sons get that time to do together. So it turned out to be kind of a blessing in disguise, all of it.
Sure, absolutely. And I know it's so hard to lose a parent. It's just so hard. We lost Dave's mom a year and a half ago now, and that in itself presents its own challenges with your physical health, with your mental health. Um, and we all go through it. We all go through it. So, what steps did you take to make sure that you were okay?
I don't know. I still think that you go through that. It still hits you, even,
Yeah.
several years later. It doesn't feel real some days. Some days it comes back. You kind of say, oh, that's right. He's not here anymore.
Hmm.
I don't really know that I took any steps. I just went through it. I know that going through his things and such is I still have stuff to go through. I just do a little at a time.
Yeah.
I try to honor his memory as much as I can. We go camping every year on his birthday, and
Oh, that's great.
he loved to sing and he loved music, so that's been a big part of my life. And we like to incorporate all that into we talk about him a lot too. That's a big thing too.
Yeah.
Not some people are afraid to talk, and really people love to talk about their loved ones that are no longer with us.
Hmm. Hmm. And as we're having this interview, it is January, just after the new year. And I'm wondering if, besides your simplicity that you want to bring into your life, what other health and wellness do you see for you in 2024? What's your plan? I know we did a little bit of health coaching, just a teeny bit, a couple years ago, and like I said, I know that's so important to you. So, what does 2024 hold for you?
Um, I guess it kind of goes along with that simplicity. I'm trying to not put too much pressure on myself with having, I don't know, too many expectations of myself, I guess you'd say. I just feel like that if I do the right things will happen, and that will
Hmm.
help maintain my health. So I'm doing little baby steps this year. I'm making like 2 intentions every week of what I want for the week.
Oh,
And
perfect.
so this week it's yoga every morning, and eating only out of my own kitchen this week.
Oh, that's
So
great.
just kind of positive things to add to my day. I'm not trying to take anything away from myself.
I love
So,
that.
yeah,
Yes, I think so many times we can get focused on taking things out and eliminating things, whether it be in our diet, our habits. And really, if we could just focus more on being simple or even taking a step back and looking at things maybe in a different light and giving yourself a little bit of grace.
absolutely. Yeah. It's, like we were just talking, life is short and you have to enjoy it in the process and not beat yourself up day in and
Yeah,
day out. So it's just giving myself a little bit of grace, like you said.
sure, sure. And let's just go back to your corporate job. And what piece of advice would you give that young lady that has that young family and she's struggling to get everything done? Um, yeah, like what would you say to your, let's say, 27-year-old self or 32-year-old self?
I think that sometimes we get lost in wanting to get to the top, to make an
Hmm.
impression. And making that impression on others is really not the most important thing in the world. It is if it self satisfies. But if you're doing it for the reason, climbing that corporate ladder and trying to impress everybody around you, uh, I would say step back and think what's really important at the end of the day. I read something the other day where someone said, the only person who's going to remember that you worked overtime are your kids. So
Yeah.
that was,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't get that time back. So when 5 o'clock comes, it's okay to close the door and walk away. That will
Hmm.
be waiting for you tomorrow. It's kind of like laundry. It's never going to go away. It's always going to be there tomorrow. So,
It's true.
don't stay up all night for, that promotion or different things. Cause at the end of the day, some of those things they really don't matter.
True, true. And I think that that was one reason why I was so surprised to hear about you stepping away from Traveling Vineyard because you so quickly rose up and you had such a huge team. But then I also admired you so much for just being, okay, I need to step back and this isn't what I want anymore. This is what I don't need this in my life anymore. So that had to have been difficult.
It was difficult because I did love it. I loved everybody there. I loved all the people. That was the hardest part to walk away
Yeah.
from. Um, but when something's not bringing you joy anymore, you have to really look into it and
Yeah.
see what you can do to you need to have joy in your life all the time. And if something you're waking up day in and day out and you're not finding that joy, then you should make a change.
Yes, I 100% agree. Hmm. And I
Yeah.
had a boss early in my fitness career. He said something along the lines of, Robin, at some point, you just can't be happy all the time. You know, life is not going to be that much fun all the time. And, he was just criticizing me for being a positive person and being happy and wanting to have a good time all the time. And I'm like, well, why can't I? Why can't I have happiness? Why can't I have joy? Who wants to live a life that isn't full of all of that?
100%, exactly. Yeah, my mother-in-law, she passed away several years ago, but she said to me one time, "You're going to spend a majority of your life at work. Find something you love to do."
Yeah.
So I took that to heart as well, and that's helped me make some decisions along the road. When I'm not finding that joy anymore, we all
Hmm.
deserve to be happy.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And when you find your purpose, whether it be volunteering and helping neighbors or maybe a podcast or whatever it is, when you find that purpose, it just naturally brings you so much joy and it feels right and it feels like the right fit.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you can wake up and greet the day, no matter what day of the week it is, a Monday or a Saturday, and you're just as happy each morning, then you know you're in the right place.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we started off the call talking about some of your camping trips. Where all have you been and where do you want to go next?
Um, I've been, I've only been in Arizona
Okay.
with this group, and I don't go too far away from home. Within 4 hours of home, we have a lot of great camping areas in Arizona.
Yeah.
But I have seen a lot of places that I had never seen, even though I've lived here my whole life. Patagonia was a beautiful park, and the Catalina Mountains are
Nice.
absolutely amazing. I am going to an event in March called Stampede, and I don't even know how many of us there are. I think there's going to be like 100 of us, and we're all going to travel in with our trailers to near Santa Barbara, California.
Okay,
And
cool.
yeah, it'll be fun. We spend 4 days, and it's all organized, and we have, food and crafts and dancing and music and campfires. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never been camping in California, so that'll happen in March. And then in October, I'm going to Tennessee,
Oh,
and
cool.
we're going to be in the Smoky Mountains.
Yes.
I won't be camping. We have a cabin. We have an Airbnb for that one, but I'm looking forward to that as well.
Oh my gosh, I love the Smoky Mountains. You're going to have a blast. And it has to be really empowering for you to be able to do this on your own.
It is. The first trip I went on, I was very nervous because I didn't know these women, and I had never towed a trailer before in my life. And I just had a little pop up, but I hooked it up to my Jeep, and I was about halfway there, and I almost started getting cold feet, thinking maybe I should
Oh,
turn around and go home. I don't
yeah.
know what I'm doing. And I
Yeah.
didn't. I went, and I had a wonderful time, and everybody was so welcoming, and they were all the same. The women were from all types of different backgrounds. So it was people that I probably would have never hung out with in my own circle. We had everything from stay-at-home moms to doctors that were retired. And these are just women who want to be out and doing things and living life. And it was very empowering. And then I can
Yeah.
just remember driving home in the rain from that trip, and I had the truckers passing me, and I was just going down this road in my Jeep with the music playing, and I just felt so independent and strong to be able to go do that.
Yes, that is so cool. But it is not easy to pull a camper. Actually, it's not easy to back one up. Is that something that you already knew how to do or you had to learn?
No, I had to learn for sure.
Okay.
I have never done it. I watched everyone else do it when I go camping. There was always the men in our family with my husband or my dad or um,
Yes.
and so yeah, it was. But these women were so open armed. They say, just show up. You'll get
Yeah.
all the help you need. There's going to be someone there to help you. Just show up. And I did. And they give you lots of great hints and tips. And they are amazing, strong, independent women. And I can back up a trailer really good now.
I bet you can. So Sisters on the Fly, are there different chapters? I'm assuming they're in all different areas of the country.
Yeah, there's one in each state. So,
Okay.
we have a wrangler in each state, and the wrangler, when you sign up, your wrangler reaches out to you and introduces herself to you, and it's very organized. There are rules, and because it is a big corporation and they have a lot of policies and insurance and different things. So you do have to follow rules, but you sign up for your events on their website, and you can host events. It's all volunteer hosting. So I hosted 5 events of my own last year,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's a lot of fun. But yeah, there's chapter in every state. So, and you don't have to camp. Some of the women, there's monthly lunches, or some of them get together to go to movies, or take a painting class, or it's mostly outdoor adventure type stuff, but there are a lot of things. So I know some women think they can't join because they don't have a camper or a trailer, but anybody can join. Some of them camp in the backs of their cars, or in tents or trailers or whatever they have. So it's really for all women.
Oh, that's so cool. I'll make sure I include that information in the show notes too, for anyone that's interested.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great, great thing.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, Robin, this has been so nice. It's been so nice to see you. I know that we see each other on Facebook, but there's just something about being able to see someone, not in person, of course, we're via Zoom, but still the next
Yeah,
best thing.
it is. It's great to see you. And I'm having fun watching you as well with your podcast. And I look forward to seeing what you're doing later in the year. I know you have some things going, and I
Yes, with
can't wait
my
to
friend
hear about.
Penny, our friend Penny.
Yeah, I know. Something about wine camp. I'm anxious to hear what you all announce with that.
Yes. She and I are working on that. Both of our podcasts will be coming together and sponsoring that. So we're excited about that.
That'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing about that. And yeah, I admire both of you very much, and love you ladies. And I am having fun watching you also go out there and be incredible.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this and taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It was fun catching up,
Great to see you.
and great to see you.
Thank you, Robin, for sharing that time with us. I'm going to have to check out Sisters on the Fly, and I'll make sure I put that in the show notes because that just sounds like a lot of fun. Here are a few takeaways. 1, our lives have seasons, and what you need to fulfill yourself can and probably will change. Create a mindset of going with your heart and not being afraid to try something new. 2, work life and travel can make balancing a healthy lifestyle difficult but doable. If you're in town, have a prep day and schedule your workouts. If you're traveling, plan ahead and bring healthy snacks so you have them with you. And make exploring your destination town a walking exercise. 3, simplicity can be very gratifying. Be careful not to fill your calendar with things that don't necessarily bring you joy. Be selfish with your time to live more. 4, realizing your own mortality can sound morbid, but it can be a blessing to get the most out of life. Do what is important and be with those that are important to you. 5, losing a parent is so hard. Find ways to honor their memory. That can be the best thing you can do. 6, live life simple without too many expectations on yourself. If you do the right things will happen and fall into place. 7, don't get lost in getting to the top and pleasing someone else. Keep in mind what truly matters. The only one that will remember you worked overtime are your kids. Choose your time wisely. 8, have joy in your life. Let go of the things that don't bring you joy. Again, thank you, Robin, and thank you for listening. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, be sure to follow Spandex and Wine so you don't miss an episode. To do this, just go to the podcast and click subscribe or follow wherever you are listening. Look for the plus sign or follow button. This is one of the best things that you can do for the podcast. If you'd also be willing to give a 5-star review, that would be amazing and much appreciated. Lastly, please share an episode with a friend or 5 to keep the love going, and join the Spandex and Wine community in our private Facebook group by searching Spandex and Wine. Feel free to reach out to me at any time by emailing info@spandexandwine.com or text me at 913-392-2877. I appreciate you. Thank you.